calling me, but yeah, that's
Wow.
Well, it's a very special early morning show today. Not only do we have Mattsby and myself, but Cantonese Cat is visiting as well for the morning show. Say hello, everyone, to Cantonese Cat.
Hi, just here to say hi. I'm not going to disrupt the show. Let Tracker and Mattsby do their thing. But
No way. It's
always disruptive anyway.
Some people are actually requesting that you do stuff, so you need to do stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, forget it.
It's a special treat to have him here. I'm just excited. I hope he just like chuckles and he's not going to do any charting, but like he can just like he can say anything at any time about any of the charts that Matt and I are showing. So that'll be kind of fun.
No, we're going to force him to chart. We're going to do it.
So let's see. 2 stocks that we track, one went up and one went down. Can you guess which one went down? It was HIMS. HIMS went down after earnings yesterday. Just a little test back. And then the one that went up was Palantir. And like one person asked me, is HIMS at resistance? And I looked at my chart. It's like, well, you know, it's got room to run. And of course it drops back. And then Palantir, it's like, that fucker looks like it's this resistance. And what does it do? Ooh. It just makes a new higher high.
So all-time highs. Yeah.
Exactly. All-time high. I'll have a word about Palantir later, but Matt, why don't you go ahead and take us into the regular show here?
Yeah, so SPY, just looking at the day-over-day price action on the daily chart, it's actually reclaiming some levels on the Ichimoku. So, you know, if it keeps on staying above the conversion and the baseline, then guess what? It's probably going to keep continuing the journey higher, and maybe there is going to be no back test of that 613 down below. But we'll keep an eye on that. Right now, that's 629 for that conversion line. And for the QQQ, same situation. It's actually reclaiming that daily conversion line too as a support. So if that trend continues, then guess what? 578.46 could be the next target above. And IWM, look at that, is trying to poke its little head above the linear scale to 1987 right there. And also yesterday, it closed above the sneaky little daily katana that Cat likes right there on IWM. 219.53 and 219.87. So yeah, IWM looks better and better and better and better and better. So nothing too scary about that. Except, I mean, I guess I should talk about Coinbase since they're doing an offering here. So scary with Coinbase. They're back at 304 pre-market, down another $14. I think what we're seeing is more retail probably going to panic about this, but the baseline is right below it, right around the 294 zone. So I did mention that the 290s are a little bit lower where possible on my weekly update last Friday. If you guys went to, or last Saturday, I put it out. If you went to the Tesla, Palantir, Coinbase, MicroStrategy, Robinhood weekly update, you would have seen that the possibility to come back down to the 290s or even a little bit lower still is possible because of the massive breakout that it had. And it just got rejected at all-time highs. And who cares what the narratives are? This is basically just a normal range and backtesting baselines on weekly charts. It happens to all charts, not just Coinbase, not just Tesla, not just the stocks that you want to just keep melting up higher, but it does happen from time to time. So we're going to keep watching that 290s down there for support and the potential to go higher. And let's look at Bitcoin too. And Bitcoin did still flip that arc to a resistance. It went up there and rejected it yesterday. So we do have kind of a little bit of a temporary trend change here for Bitcoin. And I think if it can't break above this, it might even need to go back to the 109, 110, which I know people would hate to hear that. But what else is down at that 110 level? Well, that is the conversion line down there at 110.738. So if it can't break this resistance this week, then perhaps lower first before higher, which would make everybody even more sad. Tracker.
Womp womp. All right, here's there's a request for my HIMS chart. Here's my HIMS chart. Thanks, Matt. So if you just kind of look back here at the wave 5 top that we had before, and then this becomes the larger degree wave 1, and this that it ran all the way back down here, that's your larger degree wave 2. So 1, 2, and now it's working on wave 3 subwave 1, and it did a 764, and then kind of a little deeper than 382, but still sort of 382. And you know, if you kind of look here, 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 and here through the magic of Control Z, you get this triangle right here. And all it did was it popped out of the top of the triangle. Maybe it just needs to touch the moving average 75 right here on the 16-hour chart. or just kind of go sideways until the moving average 75 catches up to it. And then the next time it breaks out of this triangle, then it'll go on up to my 1382 target, 138.2% fib at 104.78. And this is what I've been sort of saying. I mean, ever since HIMS did wave 1 up, wave 2 down, I've had this chart more or less. So, and once it hit 764, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to do 764, 382. And sure enough, that's pretty much what it's done. So just, hang out here with HIMS. It's a buying opportunity right now. You could buy it now, or you could try to squeeze another 0.5% out of it lower, but you don't have to. For more prices right now, 83% higher to 104.78. And that's just the wave 3. Then the wave 5 is like a whole nother like 5 waves up from the wave 4 bottom, which typically, if this goes to the 1382 at 104.78, the wave 4 bottom is 82.05. And then from 82.05, then it's like a whole other set of waves. The wave 5 is basically just like the next wave 3, just stacked on top of wave 4. It's like a measured move. Oops, that's not what I want. I want this one. Oh, I've already got it right here. Duh. Oh, except I can't find where's the end of it? All right, so from 82.05 to 164.28 is like 200%. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 100%. Yes, twice what it was. 100%. All right, that's my HIMS chart. Bitcoin, I like to talk about Bitcoin, and I think I showed you this chart yesterday. I drew this exact chart right here on the show. I said, you look back here in May of 2023, and no, I'm sorry, that's this May. You look back in May of this year, and it was at 122,000, or I'm sorry, 112,000, and then it kind of tests down, runs up to 123,000, and then tests back to 112,000 again. So basically, yeah, this isn't, and I told you in the show here yesterday too, there's no space between the last time it did this. Where's that? Anyway, and this time it did it. So this isn't even like a wave 3, wave 4 situation. We're still in wave 3 going up. And so my next target is it on this chart? 16 hours. Should be. Not that one. Let's see, log scale. You know what? It's probably like, let's say 126,000 for the very next little bit, but really it's going to go to like 137,000. I would say. I've got a different chart than this that shows Bitcoin. Tesla, blah, blah, blah. It's still hanging out in this triangle here. It's just a matter of time. I mean, it made like it kind of set up a trend for the support, and then broke the trend to the downside to freak everyone out. And now it can go ahead and move up to through the upside. Still looking for 420.69. I don't know when it's going to be, but it's in the future. And it's just nothing but higher lows, higher lows, higher lows since then. So that's pretty much it for the Tesla. Oh, and then I did HIMS. Yeah. All right, back to you, Matt. That was the HIMS coin and Tesla update.
Well, what's your opinion on Coinbase, Cat? I know everybody's curious about what you want to say about it.
Okay. All right. Let me just pull up the Coinbase chart here.
He's gonna pull up a chart.
Told you you're gonna put. I'm gonna get put to work.
Man. Okay. Well, I'm just looking at like the FIB retracements here. Initially, it was kind of hanging around the 0.707. Now it's looking like it's got a lot of support down below. This is the weekly chart, so the base is going to be around 293. The 0.61 is going to be around 287, and this is actually a pretty important zone because if you look at a 2-week here, you actually got a little bit of a katana here on a 2-week, which is actually not a bad thing. The rising 10 on a 2-week right there is 306, so you potentially find some support right around where we're at right now. But also on the monthly here, the 10 or the conversion is around 293 as well. So 293, 287 zones probably going to be some pretty important support down here. Whenever things get a little bit too far away from the conversion, it tends to want to, unless it breaks and just keeps on dragging the blue line up along with it, it tends to want to retrace back. It just wasn't ready. It got rejected here from previous all-time highs. So it's trying to find some support below. I don't think it's necessarily going to go all the way down to like the 245 where some people are speculating. But it would be reasonable for it to kind of get closer and closer to 293 to the conversion line right there, and that would be healthy. That could this is the beginning of the month, guys. All of this could just be a wick below the 0.86 when people are expecting it lower. I mean, it could go lower, so I suppose it's possible, especially if Bitcoin keeps correcting. But I just see the 280s, 290s to be a very, very important zone. If the zone breaks down, and if the month is still early, then all of this is probably all just turned out to be a wick. The other thing I want to show too is on the daily here. It's just really, really overextended to the downside. Like look at the Bollinger Band here. It's just dragging down, man. Like, what is going on? Like, why is it opening up right below the daily Bollinger Band here? It's already been below the daily Bollinger Band here for 2 days in a row. Do these things happen often? Not really. If it does, usually it goes sideways and it steps down, right? So I just think that we're like a little bit too far overextended. I think we're kind of due for a correction back to the mean here. At some point, the lower it decides to drag down, the more powerful the move is going to be over the next couple of weeks. But we'll see. All of this is just speculation, but I do think that we're entering a pretty important range of support. So, gonna show hymns here real quick. Not his, although it's kind of like that. But the truth is this, it is in a resistance zone, but it's been forming higher it's been forming higher lows. So it's basically got a little bit of a ascending triangle. It's got a little bit of a cupping handle type situation here. Got rejected here. It's going to try to find another higher low here before going up. And wherever the higher low is going to be, it's going to be some pretty decent risk-reward ratio to me, as far as I'm concerned. When I was looking yesterday at where it could retrace, I was thinking about maybe like the 0.76 over here, which is around 57.7. It did retrace all the way back down closer to 0.707, so that would be a very important range. And if you open up the order block detector, if we end up opening up and end up tanking, there'll be a lot of support here, probably down like the low 50s. So that's all I gotta say, guys.
Well, I want to know your thoughts on Galaxy, since that's your other little Palantir candidate. Yeah.
I mean, like, what is it? Like, it basically had like earnings and it tanked because it missed both like revenue and EPS. And the next thing you have a lot of sell orders up here. That's just because it was like the previous high over here. But the truth is this: it doesn't really matter because the momentum is here. I think a lot of people end up like panicking or are probably already regretting now. It's close to a month before about the 0.86. It kind of put down underneath below. It still looks like the 0.86 wants to hold here on the monthly and even on the weekly here. If it doesn't hold, it's fine. Like, it's higher highs, higher lows. It's got the conversion line down there below. This is a really, really strong stock. Like, I mean, if you're looking at it looks a lot more stronger than Coinbase. It's got the monthly Bollinger Band expansion. It looks like it wants to break above the 0.86 here in Q3. And if it does, then like some crazy stuff could happen after that. So this is actually probably one of like the strongest crypto related stocks I can find, if not the strongest. So yeah, I'm just gonna let it do its thing. I'm gonna try to accumulate as much as I can below 30 and see how this thing goes. If it ends up tanking, like, I do see a lot of support here down below, as I was kind of saying. You have the conversion here around 25. I think $25 is going to be a pretty good zone if it decides to tank down to try to accumulate more. But yeah, I wouldn't bet against this thing. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, no, I love it. Yeah, it looks really good. I'm thinking about starting a position, but I don't know. I still haven't decided.
I know there's just this, and Irene is looking good, and Coinbase is like, going back to support. I mean, there's like a lot of choices here. Yeah, I just need to make more money, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. We all do. Yes. Well, my last question: when did you start using the 707 fib, Cat? I'm curious.
I only use it when things are kind of in space, between the 0.76 and 0.6, because it's like what Tracker says, right? It's like the belly button.
Exactly. It's right in the middle.
Yeah. It's just like right inside the golden pocket. Like, which way is it going to go? Well, is it going to bounce all 0.707 and go up, or is it going to bounce down? Right. I mean, I think Tracker's philosophy is pretty good here. So
fair enough.
It's so fractal.
It is.
Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, this rising tanking up here for Coinbase, maybe it's gonna, with the katana here, maybe it's gonna push price up higher. I don't know. Or maybe it's just gonna go down to the zone that we talked about, which is fine either way. I mean, it's short-term volatility. Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine.
I want to say something.
Go ahead, Charger.
I'll use it later in the Triumvirate show tonight too, but I'm going to show the example here this morning. And it's kind of what Kat's been talking about, these stocks that are going to go Palantiring. Thanks, Matt. So just imagine, let's just hide this for the moment. So just got a blank screen here. Don't worry about the prices on the side here. But just suppose you've got a retrace. You've got some stock that, it opens at some really lovely price, some great IPO, and then immediately starts tanking, right? And then it looks something like this. And oh, God, that looks terrible. But then it like starts to mount a recovery, and it starts to look like it starts to, I'm sorry, wait, I did this wrong because it starts at 100%. Sorry, let me start over again. It starts at 100%, opens at some great IPO price, but then immediately starts to tank. All right, and then it only makes lower lows, but then it starts to get a recovery. And then it kind of starts, once it gets close to this 886, or what I call the 888, and then it looks like when you get like this, that's a really good looking, it's almost like inverse head and shoulders, but it's also kind of like a cup and handle. And so when you see a stock that looks like this, what it wants to do is just break out of that previous, make a new higher high, either to the Matt's 1272 or the 141, 1414 here. And so then now you actually go back and unhide this other thing that I had hidden, and you go down here and it's like, oh, that's Coinbase, right? Look, that's exactly what Coinbase did. It started this IPO. It kind of made a little cup here, but then tanked from $429 to $31. Then it recovers, and it makes kind of a little, first, this almost looks like an inverse head and shoulders. And it also looks like a big cup and a little handle here. And you can see it's already trying, it got this little toe over the previous all-time high. And everyone got really excited. And now it's just making, it's ever since down here, it's higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. This one was sort of the 1-2 that makes it look like a higher high, lower, higher low. But then, it just wants to, all the stuff where I'm tracking up here on the linear scale, all my charting up here, it's just trying to show you what is going to happen just to get to the 1272, not even the 141 of this giant move here. So, if you're patient enough, this thing goes to 1266 easily. And all my machinations, all I'm trying to show you are the potential paths to get from breaking out to the 1272 is about here. 873 on the linear scale is about, somewhere between my 2236 and my 2382. So that's all I wanted to show you. Coin looks like this. Palantir is probably, I haven't really looked at Palantir. Palantir, it also started high, but it's already done, like Matt's showing you, it's done extensions that are, it doesn't even, here we go. Log scale. And then make it like this. Oh no, I don't have the right thing here. Or I'll just do it real quick. From here back to there, but show it to me on the left side. This one. All right, so it went from $45 down to $5.92, almost a 10-to-1 reduction again, just like Coinbase. And the only difference is it made a really swift recovery here and here. And then once it got over the previous high, $45, it's made 2 more swift moves up. And so I would say, this is what I want to say about Palantir. It's going somewhere. It's got a target in mind already that it's trying to get to. And it's just trying to get there as fast as it can. And then maybe it'll start kicking the tires and testing supports again. And that might be the 2618 up here. Maybe it's just in a rush to get to $1,200. And then it'll start like coming back into the.
Did you say $1,200?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe he just wants to go to $1,200 first, and then start testing back into and then they'll start doing like a Tesla thing where it goes back and forth between $1,200 and no, it's only worth $300. No, it's worth $400. No, it's worth $500. No, it's worth $1,600. No, it's worth $800. It just kind of gets crazy, unstable at the top, right? Okay, that's it.
One thing I wanted to point out with Palantir actually is, let's see, right here. It's reaching the full 4.236 Fib extension right now on linear scale. Any thoughts of that, guys? Is it going to get rejected in this zone? Is this it? Is this the whole cycle right here? I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, if you looked at my chart, we're oscillating right around the 1618 of that retrace I just showed you on the monthly chart.
Yeah, on log scale. Yeah,
Yeah, log scale.
But I'm saying on linear scale, it's the full extension.
Linear scale.
It's the full extension right here. Any thoughts with that, Kat?
I mean, I never really think that a parabolic move like Palantir is doing has to end at the 4.236. You know, and it's been going up on a ascending wedge, which is bearish. It's been going on bearish diversions, which is bearish. It's been going up on, you know, all kinds of stuff, but it doesn't care. It looks like momentum's to the upside. So I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. I was thinking a while ago that maybe that would be a good position to actually take profits, but at this point, just got to keep following what the chart is doing week over week, and the momentum is there. So why fight the momentum? Why try to short it? Why try to just do anything? Just sometimes the best thing to do is nothing at all.
Yeah, like it broke through the 1.618 linear like it's butter. It broke through the 2.618 like it's butter. You know, like it broke through the 2.272 like it's butter. It got rejected once right there at 3.618. So I don't know whether or not the 4.236 is going to be. There are a lot of resistance level that is just breaking, and I don't know if I would want to like. But the momentum is there. I don't know if I really want to like exit out of it. I'm trying to find reason to sell a Palantir. I just can't find like a
I know. I was in a dilemma the whole week, and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
I know. Yeah, I just can't find a reason for it.
Maybe wait till the next time extends out of its upper Bollinger Band, right? It's still inside of its monthly Bollinger Band. It's still inside of its weekly Bollinger Band. Yeah, it's well inside the weekly Bollinger Band, and it's still inside the monthly. So next time it overextends past the Bollinger Band, maybe you could take some profits there.
Well, it's gonna open up the market about the monthly Bollinger Band. It's gonna drag the Bollinger Band up. Yeah.
You're right, because I'm looking at the wrong. Well, then maybe today's the day.
It's going to expand the Bollinger Band, so the momentum is still there. Like I don't know if I can justify selling necessarily. It will still be inside the weekly Bollinger Band, which probably would be a little bit of resistance. So
it's still inside my 16-hour Bollinger Band. And you know what it is? Remember, it had those two wicks, those crazy August 4th wicks that went to like $172 and $172, and now it's breaking out on top of that.
Yeah,
or it's testing it again.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well,
sorry.
You guys keep doing your chart requests. You don't have to. So we can do more tonight. So.
Yeah, we don't get them all tonight or today. We'll get them tonight. But I'll do some of the crypto that I see on there. But first, I just want to show this message here that Wan Chang, whatever. Yeah, thank you for. I know how to say it, but it's like when people say Shanghai or Shanghai. You know, like.
Oh my god! Okay.
Shanghai, yeah.
Yeah. If you guys haven't signed up for Mattsby Tracker's Patreon, like, thank you very much, Juan. Yes, you signed up yesterday, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. And let's do some crypto here with Corium. And Corium is actually getting back above the 382, and that's a zero. That's the 0.16191. So I think, that looks like it did close the week back above it last week, and it kind of back tested already. So this could be actually ready to continue the journey up top, maybe even to the 20-cent barrier, the 21, 22-cent level, and even the 50% fib, 22,649. So this is looking more and more bullish as time goes on. And as long as that 16,191 continues to hold, it can be more bullish. ONDO. Ondo. So this one just keeps on staying inside the arcs here the whole time, ever since it kind of really made all-time highs back here. It's just been in between all of the arcs the whole time, getting liquidity below and some liquidity above back in December of 2024. So what I'm watching now is kind of the conversion line as a support zone, which is right around 90 cents. Then you got the 50-week moving average at 98.9. But ultimately, if you're looking for something to break out this arc and that blue level and the cloud, it's got to break, right? It's got to break as a support or as a resistance. So that's starting around 115 up to the 130 zone. break above it, it'll get a lot more bullish. But until then, it's probably just going to be range bound for this chart for some time. So with that, let's go into, I want to do a couple of crypto stuff too. SBET, crypto stocks. And this one is just range bound and it's very volatile. So if you're into this sort of thing, you got to understand that the high time frame range is very, very wide and it's in the middle of that range. So that means the volatility could exist to the up or to the down either way. But as usual, I'm cautious at resistance, a little bit more bullish at support down here. But I think if you can't handle this volatility, then maybe it's not something for you. But I do see it possible to backtest the cloud again. I do see it possible to backtest this 236 fib again. So I don't know. If it was me, I would probably just look somewhere else because it's in the middle of a range, and I don't really like things that are just floating there because they could just do an offering and just tank the stock, but it just goes back down to support, or some good news could just like put it right back up to resistance again, and then people get excited at resistance once again. So the choice is yours, but this is the range, basically $11 to $31. That's it right there for that. And lastly, I'll do BMNR, and also kind of similar range right here. Got a couple of arrows right there, which is showing that it did start to lose this 41.18 as a support. It did try to maintain it for a few weeks, but what sits below it? Well, there is more support below it, and that's the 200-week moving average and the 382 fib, which is also a big resistance zone right here, which is before it kind of took off, it got rejected at that $20 level, and then it just tanked, and then it broke out. So would a back test of that previous resistance be possible? If you also go back in time, it was also a big resistance zone as well. So if you're looking for some kind of a back test, you got to consider that it's also in a wide range between the $20 and $41 zone. So for me, these are just too volatile, and I'd rather just own crypto myself.
But if it ever did ever back test that level, I'd set an alert there to buy some right there.
Yeah. They're just too volatile for me. I mean, I get enough volatility with Coinbase, why not?
Let's see. I was going to show my Galaxy chart just to show it's the same pattern here. Now, if you just kind of don't look back when Galaxy was doing something different over here, if you just look at this part right here, I did a 100% to the 0, and then it's coming back up again. And so the breakout would happen over $38, and here we are right here. It wicked above it a month ago, a couple months ago, and we got all excited, and then we're back under the 886 again at 27.77, and it's just trying to build up enough inertia, time, or support to break out, and so it will go over $38, and it will go to the 1272, maybe back to the 168. Actually, it's 1618, and then up to the 141 for up here, which would be $118, which would be fantastic, right? Because this is all log scale I'm looking at here. So what, from here to the 1272 is like 177% higher, and then the 141 is a 308% higher. You just have to be able to be willing to grab it and hang on here, and it really is like, here's another cup and handle, and then inside is a little teeny tiny cup, and then you'll see a little tiny micro handle, and then it'll break out. And so that's Galaxy, and then so I'm going to do the same thing. No, SBET. I was going to show SBET. But I've got Bitminer here anyway. This is the 1 month Bollinger Band, and you can see that for BMNR, the Bollinger Band is still way down here at the bottom. It's not closing up yet, so don't count Bitminer out yet. On the weekly chart, yeah, it looks. This is the exact same chart that Matt just showed you, and it has a really pretty symmetry here. And if it did touch back to $22.30, then I would buy that in a heartbeat. And look, it kind of looks like it's lining up with where the center of the Bollinger Band is going, the 21 SMA on the log scale. So anyway, look out for that. Let's see. SBET kind of looks the same. How does it look the same? Just because it down, up, down. It's coiling. I see this as coiling to go higher. maybe it wants to touch the center Bollinger Band, but it doesn't have to. It could just go sideways here and wait for this Bollinger Band. These are weekly candlesticks. So a few weeks and the Bollinger Band would catch up to where it is now, and then that could push it up. The lower, let's do the monthly because that's the way Kat showed us how to do it. Look at the monthly Bollinger Band, and it's kind of going sideways right now. It's not expanding, but it's not contracting either. So I'm still happy about SBET. I'm still hanging in there with it. Let's see. All right, let's do another one. Request. Oh, all right, CRM. I could just do CRM. And we'll take it off log scale because I think the last time I charted this one was all linear. We'll take off the Bollinger Bands. This is how I always used to do this stuff. Just looking for this. This is some after hours market action where it went up to 378.50. So here's what I'm looking for: the wave 1, wave 2, and it did the 382, a little bit more than 382. And instead of the 23.6 being support, it came all the way down here towards the 11.4. It could still go to the 11.4 at 246.14 on this linear fib extension, and then go 123.6, which would be crazy. But that's that's what these stocks do. They get crazy. So I do. So look out. I mean, what 252 now? Just wait a few dollars more, or DCA if it goes to 246.14. If it goes under it, then you're in for a wait because then it'll kind of like bounce around underneath the 11.4 before it can. That'll be resistance for a while, and maybe until this moving average 300 on this 1 week chart catches up to it. That'll take forever. But hopefully it just touches this and goes. And a touch and go from here to the 123.6. It's, again, this is 5 waves inside of this, but that's 76% higher. Well, you can see why I don't never trade CRM because it's just too boring for me. If it doesn't go at least 200% from here to here, I'm not interested. I'm sorry. I'm such a snob.
2 out of 10 would not bang. I get it. It's
yeah. Here's Zeta, and then I'll oh no, wait, Max. Yeah, okay. And I'll give it back to Matt. Let's see. I've got a bunch of. I tried to do a larger degree 1, 2, and then a smaller one. Yeah, let's get my 16-hour chart just to make sure these aren't hanging out in space. Yeah. See, there's a wick up here and a wick there. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out. Let me get rid of this thing. I think I was looking at this upside down for a bear case, but no, it seems fine right now. All right, it's been fighting with this 11.4% fib extension mini boss around 1544, and you can see here also it's just like there's something magical about the 16-hour chart and the 75 moving average and the 300 moving average, which is 4 times 75. And you can see it just got stuck in a pincer movement between the 300 up here as resistance and the 75 as support. And it already back tested it. And, once it gets over 1544, it should go, well, at least to the 382 for 26.59. And then maybe it comes back to the 236. But then, it could also go to the 618 back to the 236 or the 764 back to the 382. But at minimum, it should go where price is right now. 63% higher to, 64% higher to 26.59. That's at minimum. And then we'll see what kind of resistance we get from there. And that's it. That's all I got to say about Zeta. And I'm handing back to Matt. That's 903.
Yeah, I think I'll just do one more before I run away. And it's not going to be XRP. I'll probably talk about XRP tonight on the triumvirate, whatever that is. That I'm having a difficulty with words today, Kat. God, it's too early for me.
Whatever, man. You just
have to figure out what's the Mandarin word for the equivalent to triumvirate.
Sandasagua.
It's a different culture.
3 morons, 3 idiots. All right. Fair enough, Kat. I see what you really mean. Yeah. All right.
Stay humble. Yeah.
All right, my last one's going to be AMD because why? Well, look at that. They report earnings today. So let's take a look at this fib extension, and I have it from the 2000 the 2000 top to the 2015 bottom, and it's really marked the top of AMD when you go on monthly candles, right? There's really never been a monthly candle above that 198.61, and we can see that once it broke back above this 122.46, it just went higher. So if we're looking for continuation, it really needs to start to break above that 198.61. And what am I looking at for earnings? Well, I don't think it's going to break above that 198, but the possible range could be somewhere in between maybe the previous 2021 high back here, which is like around 164, and maybe the 190s. That could be the potential range for the stock. I'm not convinced it wants to break into all-time highs just yet. It had a very, very nice run. Essentially every single month since May has been a very, very nice monthly candle. So what we're seeing right now is the potential to stabilize in a new zone up here. And if we can actually stay above this 164, then that could actually start to build a base and continue the journey higher and go towards the 200s, maybe even the 300s or 400s above. So it's a fantastic looking chart right now. It looks like it is kind of a head and shoulders that's breaking through a neckline right here, which is fantastic as well. So yeah, just stay above 164 is what I'm watching, and it'll go higher. So with that, you guys can finish it off.
Okay, I've got one. I'm just going to. I want to show FUBO TV. Excuse me. I should have brought my water with me. FUBO TV. Thanks, Matt. Okay, so from this wave 1, wave 2 pullback, I've got these fib extensions on the linear scale, and it's already done. The 11.4 boss down was right down here. It got over it, tested back to it, and now we're heading for the 618. I think it could do 382, 236, but I feel like it's got a lot more oomph to go than that. The flavor of 2025 seems to be on my linear fib extensions. 618 back to the 382 seems very common now, and I still haven't seen one to tell you if it's going to the 1236 or the 1382. It's a mixed message because usually the 618 goes to the 1236, but the 382 goes to the 1382. So anyway, but the important thing actually is to go back and look bigger, and you can see that all price is trying to do is from its retrace from its previous crazy high. It dropped down here. It did try to backtest this as 11.4 on linear scale, about 795. And then it's just trying to get back there again. So above $7.95 will be an important bullish level for FUBO to let it continue higher and higher and higher. And then it's interesting, if you look at it on linear scale, on log scale, same thing, that same 11.4, look at this cat. It's also the 50% log scale retrace chart. So it's 11.4 linear, 50% log, also super, super important. So that same price level, about 774, it just has to get over it, break out, back test it, and then it can go higher and start making new higher highs above 62.29. And you can kind of see, just even with my projections, it's kind of like it's making a cup and a handle, which will then itself become a larger cup, then look for a handle, and then a breakout. So from where prices right now, if you're patient enough, you've already bought it and you're just hanging on to it. If you're looking at it now and you're salivating, that's a good idea, because just to get to the 886 and fail on the log scale is 856% higher from where prices right now. I mean, you're going to be in for a ride on the way to get there. Just like we just went for a ride on crypto, and all that happened is that for 2 weeks, Bitcoin went sideways. And while Bitcoin went sideways, all the rest of the crypto went, oh my God, it's the end of the world. And everything, all the coin strategies and everything else went to, whatever. I had people leave my subscription and call me names and things like that, but sticks and stones, right? So anyway, and now we're rebounding. We're finally, Bitcoin's put in the bottom, this bottom right here, and we're on to new higher highs very soon. For crypto. All right, that's it. That's my last word. And then we'll actually do the show tonight where we're talking about this stuff more in depth and with more jokes.
Kat, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going to call tracker a lot of names tonight.
Please do.
I'm I'm gonna come up with a whole list and call you names, but no, I don't have any other thoughts. Yeah, I'll see you
Yeah,
guys
that's
tonight,
gonna be
guys.
fun. Thanks for coming this morning, Kat. You're welcome
Thanks for
every
having
time
me.
you want to come in.
Yeah, thanks for having me, sexy butter. Yeah. I'll be better tonight.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, guys.
All right, good luck out there, everybody. It's a recovery week. Don't trade too soon. Don't overtrade.